welcome back. We're having fun today. It's warm out in Nova Scotia. We're on air. I'm Bad Chad, and that's Aiden in the bed. And what we're doing, we're taking off where we left off yesterday. Me and Aiden got all the square stock in here. We've got it placed where we want it placed. We got it looking real good. Aiden did the welding. I did the cutting. I held it. He welded it. And we got it done together. That's what we're doing. But basically what we're doing is we're trying to put a dash inside this car. And like I said yesterday, I feel that, you know, as we're putting the dash in the car and I'm looking at the roof and I got this piece made back here, I'm feeling like where the roof is way in here like this, the doors have to go way in there to match up with the roof. I can't leave them out here because they're not going in where the roof is, you know. The post is here. We got to bring that door over further. Also, I like the idea of having this small little roof on the big car. It's something, you know, not a lot of people have done. It's been done before. We've seen a car in the Peterson, I'm going to slow down talking. In the Peterson Museum, we seen a sports car that had a small little roof on it, and I told Jolene, that's cool. I like how they did that. I'm enjoying this car more and more all the time. The reason being is it's one of a kind. It's not something that you would see what somebody else has done, and I'm having fun with it. What can I say? Right now, as we got the top of the doors on, we've got the top of the dash in. I want you to come take a look at it. We added a little piece of square or flat bar here, took some gap away, so you'll watch and see. When we opened the door yesterday, there was quite a gap when it come back there, and I wanted to take some of it away. When we cap it, you're not going to tell or see, but it's just something that we did to take away. You can see how tight the gap is now. We're just missing. We can take a little more off. That's quite close, but I just wanted to take a little bit off so I didn't have to add too much to this. We've got this piece up here done. You can see that it's not straight anymore. We've got a triangle, or we got a triangle added on there. And I'll shut the door and I'll show you what's happened. We took a piece of, I'll show you. There's a piece of metal that we had outside, or I had outside. It was off when we did the cider truck. We bent the ribs for the top of it, and this is a piece of it right here. I cut this in half. I'm going to do it again for you right in front of your very eyes if you stick with us. I cut it in half, or cut it off, cut it in half, and then what I did is I used one piece for one side, one piece for the other side. And what I did is I laid it on there. I laid it on top of the square stock. I drew the angle on it. I cut it. Aiden welded it in. Once we welded it in, you couldn't open the door again because it was from there to there. Then I got it inside the car, and I cut it open where we wanted to cut it and where the door to match up. So now we've got, when we cap the door, it's going to come around like that and have that angle. It's going to slide right over to the dash and carry on straight across. You can do this any way you want to. You can do it in square stock. You can do it in round stock. You can do it any way you want to. But as we have it going around like that, you can see the dash. Come see the dash now if you want to, sweetheart, please, and thank you. Jolene looks amazing today, as always. Little halter top on, little Daisy Dukes on, tanned right to the nines. But you can see how we've got a peak right here, and that matches up with the door. What we did is we just cut it off right there. We angled that part there, and then we capped it with a piece of flat stock. Exact same thing. And now when you shut the door, come over, you can come up here and you can see, I don't know if you can see it now, but you can see now when Jolene comes up to it, you can see how it goes together and it goes around. We've got both sides done. We did that yesterday. Now we're going to sheath it, and I'm going to peak the center. So what's going to happen is I'm probably going to get Aiden to get a piece of Bristol board, lay some Bristol board on here, trace the shape of the top of the door, cut the Bristol board. We'll get a piece of metal ready. We got a piece of metal ready there. He'll trace it out there, and then we'll get ready and we'll cut that pattern out. We'll be able to sheath the top of that. We're going to sheath the top of the dash, and we're going to peak the middle. As we got this coming around here, to me it seems just really flat going across there. And this is the chance where you can do anything you want to. Like you can do this out of round stock to make it look round and put your piece of metal on. You could double it up and make it, you know, you could put a piece underneath of it and make it straight down. You can do a whole bunch of things to it. But as I'm got this round here and we've got a chance to do whatever we want to do, and we're trying to do it, you know, fairly quickly, and we're not going to, you know, farm this out and make this a a week project or a 2-week project. No, this is something that we want to get done. But as I see, it's peaked here in the center on the front window. It's got that sweetheart look in the front, like Jolene, my sweetheart. We're going to peak the middle of the dash. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half, and then, or cut this off, cut this in half, and I'm going to make a little peak, and then we're going to apply it to the center of this dash. And when we sheath it, it'll have a round spot here, and then it'll come out and have a peak here, and then it'll go around to the other side. I think probably there's many cars that have a peak in the center like that, but that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it in front of your very eyes. I was grinding all the weld off, and it looks amazing. Aiden did an awesome job on helping on everything. And I asked him, I said, Aiden, how would you make that look any better? He said, body fill. And I said, right on, man. He's right where I'm at. He's right where I'm at. So basically, to make anything look better, even Jolene smiled on that one. Even to make it look any better, I mean, you must put a little filler on it to help it look the best it can. If the gaps are a little shy and all that stuff, that's where fill and primer and all that stuff comes in. But we're going to go for it. And I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to make a peak. And Aiden's going to go for making a pattern on top of the door. Let's do it. I'm going to cut this off. Hope that wasn't too much talking, but it is what it is. I'm going to run here a little bit, trying to get a couple things done. We'll plug both of these in. That's what I should have done before we started, but I didn't. So this piece here was off the cider truck. It was off the top part of the truck, and this is one of the ribs that was not used. So, it doesn't look bad. It's just a round piece of square stock. And this is basically, I did the exact same thing on the corners of the doors. You got a couple magnets there on the side of the door, Aiden, if you want them. Hold that for you. And also, you can cut that piece of Bristol board in half if you want to, so it don't take off on you. A pair of scissors. And if you cut it in half, Aiden, you might as well make that pattern and mark it, make that pattern mark it. I don't know if they're the same or if they're not, but keep you busy, why not? Make two, left and a right, or whatever what it is. It's a little bit like NASCAR when I use the grinder. It's like turn your TV up, it's like turn your TV down. You know what I mean with NASCAR? You ever watch NASCAR when they say turn your TV up, turn it up loud or whatever? I shouldn't have to explain that. But anyways, I'm going to get a piece of tape. Excuse me there for a second, sweetheart. I'm going to get a piece of tape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, or I am going to find center of that round piece of stock. And how I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of tape on it. Then I'm going to pull the tape off. And then I'm going to measure it. And I'm going to put tape back on. And I'll know where to cut it. So I've got this. I can eye it up. Yes, I can. But I find it doesn't work that well. I did it last time and I lost a little bit of the metal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on there. Just trying to find the center, that's all. Something simple, I guess. A piece of tape, or I think this is going to work. Just hard to do with the tape measure and bend it around like that and try to find your center. Why is that sticking so well? It's a rusty piece of metal, it's not supposed to stick at all. And I'll have to get Jolene to help me with the measurement, just to tell me what center is. Jolene's smart as a whip. She's smart as a whip. 17.5. What's center? 8 3/4? I told you, boys. She's smart as a whip. So, stay up there, tape. try to get this as straight as possible. I'm just trying to find the center of that round stock. That's all I'm doing. And I find this is the easiest way is with a piece of tape. If you got something round, grab a piece of tape and do it that way. Put it back on. Then we have center. I'm not wasting any of the round bar. I want all the peaks. So if I cut it a little bit short on one, then I have to cut a little bit off the other side, which takes a little bit off each side, which makes it smaller, which I want to keep all of the round that I have because I want to be able to make the biggest peak I can, because if I cut it all off, there's quite a bit I have to cut off to make it fit the flat stock. So the more material I have to use, the better, is what I'm trying to say. A little bit off, but that's okay. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alrighty. Stop it. Now we want to make a peak on the dash. That's not straight. I'm going to get a piece of straight stuff. I need something straight to go with. And the reason being, I want to make the right cut. So we got the peak going there. So what I've done here, I just set my peak together. I just set that point there together. I got a straight dash, so I'm going to run. I want this peak setting on there nice. So I'm going to take and run this straight piece across here. Still touching there. So I'm going to draw a line to get that fit on that dash nice. We'll cut that along there. We'll cut that along there. And get that to come together. We'll go there. We'll go there. That's our cuts. If I can see them. Give me a new blade. How you making out, Aiden?
One done.
Geez, you're badass.
Not bad, not bad.
One done, he says. One and done. Check the one that you made before you make another one. Just check it and see how close it is on that one. You have to flip it upside down, obviously, but you might as well check it. If it's real close and good, you won't even have to make another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's a bit long, but
it's a bit long.
It's a bit long.
But it fits.
But it fits everywhere else. there.
No, I don't think I'd bother making another one.
All right.
All right. And a bit long is probably an 1/8, so that's real good. Like we're doing good when you can take one side and go to the other side. So you may as well come back. Well, you can mark it out on. You can mark 2 of those out on that right there if you'd like, on this corner. And I'll keep doing this, and then I'm going to get you to grab the welder, and we're going to go welding. There you should be. It's a hard cut, but we can do it! Now, this is our dash, our pretend dash. Good. A little bit there left over on that edge. I'm going to grind that off. We'll fill that up. We don't want that real sharp there anyways, so I'm going to knock a little bit off this one. Did the right thing there. We don't want it sharp anyways, so we'll go like that. We'll weld that together. It's off there a little bit, that's fine. Once we weld together, we'll never know the difference. A little bit of gap for strength. We got this welded on nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flapper wheel, clean them up, turn that TV down. Here it goes. You're a good man.
That's all right.
Well done. 2 straight edges.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thought that'd be all right.
Awesome. Good job. You must think I'm really good, though. He's saving metal, though. Putting it right close to the house. He put it right on.
Put it right
and
next
basically, you know why I would have done that, or why you done that? Because you got 2 straight edges. It saves me 2 cuts.
Yeah.
If you put another one over here, then I got to make that cut where you've got that straight edge. We got the straight edge there. You're saving a cut on each one, saving 2 cuts. That's why I do that, and that's why you generally when you take a piece of Bristol board and you go for something, make a pattern. Generally try to go for that straight edge first and then do the rest.
And then the rest you can just cut.
Let's weld these together. You get a helmet on and your gloves.
All Righty-o.
We're gonna kick some ass and take some numbers today. I'm that rare Nova Scotia dinosaur. A lot of swamp ass. Was that funny? Aiden's smiling. Oh, she didn't give me the look, boys. I guess it was okay.
This is how
I was waiting.
you get the A-OK.
So basically what we're trying to do, we're trying to get another peak in the center just to make it a little extra special. And that's about it. We're just trying to make a little shape to it. Having fun. That's what we're doing, is we're having fun. We're having fun. Also, what can I say? Also, let's put hooker on, Eden. Let's do her. Let's do it. Yep, just put her on there. I'll hold it.
Gotcha.
I want you to weld the center. Fit it good there. Weld that center together, please, and thank you.
Around the top.
Yep. Perfect. Actually, just weld the whole seam if you like. Spot her together.
Yeah.
Do whatever you like. One spot at a time. Make it look good. He's badass, boys. He's badass. Alrighty. We might as well do this side. Yep. Do her again. You can get that together, can you not?
Yeah.
Just put some meat on it first. Start at the smaller end.
Down the bottom.
Yeah, start that one. Give you give a little meat on it. And every time you hit it, just every time he hits this, every time he goes to weld this gap up here, start your welder on top of the meat that you already have. Don't go back in the hole and try to, do a hole every time. Aiden might as well start the welder right on top of the spot that he's got there now. Let the red cool and then hit right on top of the spot where he just did the last one. That way there, every time he welds that, he's got meat there to weld. If you try to just go in the hole every time, well, then you're going to be trying every time. Where you weld on top of the meat every time, then you just run it forward a little bit. So spot it. He's going to spot it on top of that one. It'll run a little bit ahead. Let the red go away. He'll spot it again right on top of the one he had before, or close to, 3/4, halfway on top. You'll have a little meat. Carry on, Aiden. Go for it. And that's basically how I would do that. He's staying on top of his meat, obviously. If he didn't, he'd be burning through every time, or, he'd have to stop, slow down. Perfect, perfect. Couldn't ask for any better than that. Go for it, Aiden. You're going to do the exact same thing there. So you're going to get a spot on there. You could bump it to get some meat on there, or do whatever you have to do, and then stay on top of the meat that you have to fill the hole in. And with the gap, we know that we're going to have penetration. Not that it needs penetration on the dash, but it is what it is.
Oh.
Yep. You can go to the other end. Perfect. All right. Awesome. Shut that off for a second. I'm just going to buff it up before we put it in there. like Aiden said, the only way to make it look any better is put body fill on it. The only way to make it look any better. So we got this piece here. We're going to try to put it on the, we're not going to try, we are. So if you're watching us do this, know that you can do the exact same thing. I want to just eye it up. I do. But you know how that goes sometimes. I'm going to get you tack it, Aiden.
Okay.
Right there in that corner.
Okay.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Just eyeing her up here.
Double check, double check.
Probably should.
Measuring tape.
Tack her.
Wait.
We can always cut it off. Can't we? Sure we can. If you can reach over the... I'm just going to tack it. Just going to put the wire where I want it. Hold it there. Close my eyes.
Gotcha.
Doesn't look center. Or does it? Right on the money. Honey, what do you think, Aiden? Should we take a tape measure and see how good the eye is?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, Aiden's that kind of guy. Aiden's that kind of guy. He wants to make sure that we're in the right vicinity. To make sure we're in the right vicinity, let's measure straight over on your, hold on right there on your door.
Yep.
I've got it right on my door. We're kind of in the, right on the middle of that. We kind of want to have it the same, you know, straight across.
Yeah.
54 and a half. What's the center of 54 and a half? Is it 27 3/4?
27 and a quarter.
27 and a quarter. I'm off ½ inch. Do that. Let's hold your tape there, Hayden.
Yeah, right there.
54 and a half. So it's 27 and a quarter. All right, I'll take it off for ½ inch, I guess. I'm just going to mark this. Take this for a second. What's that, sweetheart? 27 and a quarter.
Yes, I give you one mark.
Mark it on the flat piece. No. What am I at now? I'm at 54.
He's on the inside.
Oh, you're on the outside.
There we go.
Aiden, you almost had me.
Oh.
You almost had me. So we want 27 and a quarter. So we're coming back ½ inch. I can mark I can do ½ inch with my eye. Good enough. Okay, we're going to knock that off. Got my marker right here. I can mark it with ½ inch just where the... Right on. I need that zip cut one.
Yeah.
I should have probably did that to start with. That's all right. So I know where the start of the piece is. The start of the piece is right there. I'm going to take a ½ inch off, and that's a ½ inch in my eyes. So I'm going to just take this end and move to this marker. This is the mark here. Took a ½ inch, moved it that way, and we're good to go. Heidi ho, neighbor. You're on the welder, Aiden. You're on the welder, bye. Yeah, tacker. Yep, tack the other side. Let me tack it. All right.
That'd be lovely.
I'll tack it. All right, you're going to weld that in. Tack each corner,
Yeah.
right? And then weld it in because we don't want to see it take off anywheres. Basically, just kind of when you're doing something like this, and we're putting the heat to it, everything moves full time. There's nothing that's still or stays still. Everything moves full time. I'm kind of wondering, did we have that door shut when we measured that? Did we? Don't tell me I was right on the money.
Oh,
Huh? Aiden? 54 or 54 and 3/8.
And that's,
We gotta come back some.
he does. I'm on the outside of the door. Double checking.
You're on the inside the door, inside.
outside.
54. Center of 54 1/4. I think we're right on the money.
27 and 12.
Look at that. Come take a look. I think we're on the money. We're good enough, right? Oh yeah, she says. Listen, if Jolene says it's good enough, boys. So Aiden's going to tack each corner, and I'm just going to say that again. When you're welding stuff like this, it's good to try to tack it all, and that way there it doesn't take off. You know, it takes off no matter what you do because heat moves things. If you do not believe me, hold something, weld something, and you'll feel it move. All right, go for it, Aiden. I guess that peak's it's not too bad, that peak, is it? Do you like it? It's okay? Okay. So basically, that's going to be the peak of the dash. We're going to run the piece out in the center and do that. We're going to do that here in a minute. Aiden's going to weld that up, spot it, and then he's going to weld it. I'm going to cut these pieces off, get them ready for the top of the door, and then we'll cover the top of the dash. I'm going to do it with the plasma cutter. Things are rolling along good. Also, the piece that I put on, I shouldn't have done that. The piece that I put on the bottom, the dash top, is fine, but the piece that I put on the bottom, I might have to move that when it comes time. And the reason being is me and Aiden were talking about it. That will control the height of the steering wheel when it comes through, or the column. That bottom piece, so that piece can be basically put anywhere, but we're going to have to check it out before we continuously weld it in. I want to thank Lincoln for the awesome plasma cutter. Thank you very much, Lincoln. I appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody that watches and throws good comments. I want to thank everybody that watches and throws shitty comments because you're watching. And basically, that's how it goes. Aiden's going for it. Something like that. He doesn't have to burn it in crazy. Just has to be stitched in like he's doing it. You know, it does. You know, it's not structural. It's the dash. Alrighty. Don't leak now. Come on now. I wear them things out so quick. We seem to be good. I'm going to cut these off freehand. And the reason being, well, I don't really have to cut them off freehand. I can get a ruler or a straight edge. I can get a straight edge. Makes sense, I guess.
Okay. She's on there.
She's on there, not coming off, Aiden?
Nope, don't think so.
Beautiful. Look at that now, would you? Look like quarters. If you're collecting quarters, that's a good thing. I'm going to cut this one. Oh. I got close to the line. Look, cut a tab out of it. That's okay. That's Raiden's going to have to fix it. Got scared of that line. Notice that? Got scared.
Put too close?
Huh?
Put her close today.
Yeah, just, I don't know why, but whatever. It is what it is. Aiden, it is what it is. Don't do that, Hiltz. Just trying to get lined up here. You can use a pair of vice grips to hold that on there too if you want to. gonna give this to Aiden. Actually, we'll do it together. So we're going to do the exact same thing as we did on the door post. Like I always say, it does not have to fit perfect. You can put it on and trim it back to make it fit perfect, and that's what we're going to do. And we got metal underneath there to do that part. We've got so on and so forth. But we are going to line this up and get this line going straight, and then get this one going good, and then we'll trim it with the feather wheel, and we'll put it on that way. So you start your welder up, start your engine, Bye. Hold it down with this instead of my fingers. On top of that, I think I do, just so it. Go ahead, Aiden.
Nice to meet you.
Merci beaucoup. Not on there like I want to. Yep, we're good. Let's we're butt welding together there, so it's really going to be delicate for you. Let's do it right about here somewhere.
Okay.
Yep, go for it. You're starting the door. Yep. Cool. Let's get right along there, bye. Keep that distance, please. Just to make it look nice when you're, right? That's basically all it's for.
Everything
Yeah,
like
go
that.
ahead. Keep her coming. You're good. You're better than good. He's a ninja now, boys. He's a ninja.
In training, in training.
Yeah. We're coming. If you're tight, just say. If it's not tight, you just say. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're good.
Get all perfectionists on my ass, and we'll have to slow down.
No.
You know what I'm trying to tell you. Get one right there, your distance, and I'm going to hold that down. No, I want a flapper wheel. Put a spot of weld right on the end of that there, please and thank you. Good. Now, what we'll do is we'll come up here. You may as well spot it's fitting good all right from the front. So I give her a spot in that hole maybe.
Alright.
See, I did that on purpose.
I had a feeling. He gives you
So
some
I'll give her
good
3 or
space.
4 spots along there, try to keep them
Even.
same distance as, so you got that distance there, keep that distance there, and then do one in the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make it,
Keep it looking
somebody
good.
that comes in and sees what you're doing, that's all. Just let them know that you have a method to your madness. All right, Aiden. I'm liking this. You might as well weld that
That corner.
right here.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Weld that. Now I'm going to take a little bit off the feather wheel. Not much, but a little.
Well, that's good.
Not much, but a little. already. Spotter there, Samurai.
Alrighty-o.
Actually, I'll keep the distance with my pair of pliers, and you just weld right beside them. How's that?
Can do, can do.
Can do, can do. When we get it over there far enough, we're going to be able to grind it off, you know what I mean? So you won't be able to tell. That's basically what I'm going for. Right in there, Aiden. And that's the object of the game, you know? You tack one on the corner there. Get out of your way. Now let's shut the door. All right. So now when we grind that off, we'll have to run the filler over there a little bit. That fits nice up in there. Sorry, get out of the way there. That fits nice up in there. We'll do this together. Aiden, what I'm going to get you to do is I'll open the door back up.
Alrighty-o.
We're going to get Aiden. Just go inside there and run some weld down that, and on the bottom of it there. I'll grind them off too, but we might as well weld it. We've welded all the bottom on all this stuff, and we ground it off smooth in case someone, you know, we got a big engine and someone says, holy, grabs underneath the dash. We would never want them to cut their hands, right?
No.
Right, we got a little love handles on there to grab. I'll cut the next one of these, and you weld that up. If it needs to be turned up when you're welding upside down there, Aiden, let me know. I'll turn it up for you so you don't have to get out.
Alright, yes please.
If it doesn't weld good when you're like welding underneath, it just needs to be turned up.
Okay. Gotcha.
Sparks aren't hurting that car, are they? Not hurting her a bit. I do it freehand, but just going to take this and clamp this ruler on. Give me a hand. Just help me. That's all. Clamp it and see what happens. That's good. A little bit higher. flapper wheel, take the slag off. And if you got that machine set right, there's generally not much slag on it. The only time generally there's slag if you're going too slow, like on the end where I freehand it, but it's quite the machine. Do we have the computer up here, do we? Kind of messes up the computer up here, the metal and the dirt and that sort of stuff. But last night I was going through, was it on the fan page? I think it was on the fan page. The guy did his, was it air conditioning box, was it? An air conditioning box or a heater box or something he had underneath the dash. I think it was in a 40-some Chevy. He did it in the bad Chad flexible chrome, I call it. It's the plastic chrome that you stick on. It's got the 3M tape on the back of it. If anybody gets a chance to look at it, throw them a like because it looks amazing. It does. You would never know it. And people that seen it would say, wow, where'd you get that box for that heater box? I know people would just ask him or going to say to him, where did you get that nice chrome box for that down there? And he's going to have to tell them, I made it. And that's a good feeling when he can say that he made it. And he used his own brain. He took what, from the bumper is what he took. He took it from the bumper and applied it to his heater box. And it had a couple gauges in it, I think, but it looked amazing. And if you get on that page, take a look and throw him a comment because he used his brain and he did an excellent job. Looked real nice. Looked awesome. That's good enough, Aiden, if you're...
Yeah.
That's good enough if you're happy with it.
Yeah.
You're happy, I'm happy. Cool. That's how that goes sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes.
Sometimes.
All right, let's I don't know if we want to move the welder over and come on the outside, or you want to, that's what we'll do. We'll move the welder over.
Yeah.
We'll just take a second. Excuse me, sweetheart. Man, you got some nice legs.
Got the ways.
Good enough?
Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
So to me, that looks right with the door coming all the way in to the roof. Because the roof is in that far, I think that we'd want to bring the top of the door in that far. Also, with the window, we can put a couple stakes in this and we can make a window to set in this to put a window in it. Also, we have to remember, with all the gear of the inside of the window and all the glass out of the inside of the window, the metal that I've added on the top comes nowhere near the heft and the weight of the glass and the mechanism that's all inside. What we apply to the top of the door is nothing compared to that. And we're going to try to keep it that way. Really nice. Looks good. Looks awesome. So we're going to come to the other side, get this side glued on, and then we're going for the top of the dash. We've got an issue going on with the top of the glass on this side, or top of the dash on this part, because we have a sweetheart look to a flat. And that's what we're going to try to do. That's what we are going to do. That's what we're going to do. Right there, Aiden, buddy.
Right there.
Yep. Awesome. Nope, don't want that one. I want it right. And there's a special place that it has to be. Let's weld it right there, bud. Keep your distance, same as the other side. A little closer. Yeah, right there somewhere, yeah. One tack, it's holding for you. Two tacks, it's there.
It's staying.
It's staying there. Yep. All right, we'll come a little further here. Yeah. Beautiful. What I want to do is I want to take the flapper wheel and just knock that back just a little bit. Got a little edge going on there, and we may as well fix it. Just knock it back just a little tiny bit. If we don't, well then when we go to grind it off, we're going to have excess weld. We don't want to have excess weld. We want just enough. We're like the Three Bears, just right. We're the 2 bears. No, we're the 3 bears. We got Mama Bear with us. All right, Aiden. Walk her on there, bud. It might be a bit thinner, that metal, so. Yeah, go ahead, next one. I'm gonna get flashed when I don't watch myself. Just a second. Yeah, nah, just give her another one, then I'm gonna flap her off a little bit more in the end. Okay. All right, one in the middle and one on the end.
Middle and end. That's it.
Awesome. All righty. Let's go on this end here. Here, stay over there.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Put one right on the corner. Just follow my lead. It's almost like Dancing with the Stars, isn't it? Follow my lead.
One toe, yeah.
Knock a little bit off this end here. I'll flapper wheel a little bit here, Hayden. Right with you. Perfect. You can do one there, one right in front of my thing.
Gotcha.
Let's trade sides. You can do the. You're more important right now than I am squeezing that. Well, we're both kind of important, but just nice to have it squeezed tight. Just go on this side of the.
Gotcha.
The plan! The plan! We have a plane going over. Did you ever watch that show, Aiden? You should have known what that was as soon as I said it. Fantasy Island.
Fancy.
Fantasy Island. Alrighty, I'm going to cut that off. There's a little excess on that one. What's that, sweetheart? Okay, sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yay. Aiden's a little quicker than I was. He already had it done, so there you go. Can't see right this second. Just flapper wheel it back so we get it closer and be happier. the middle, Aiden.
Gotcha.
And then and one in the end, I guess. All right, tops of doors are capped. Looks good. Looks real good. Might flapper wheel this back a little bit more. You can see how it's hanging over there a little tiny bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Might flapper wheel that back just a little bit more. Didn't want to flapper wheel the top of the door though. But before we weld it, we might flap it. We probably will. This door's the one that is hitting on the inside, and we'll have to adjust that after. But we've got a nice gap still going there when we weld it up, and we got the door coming in. Now let's cover. I'm going to grind the top of that off. Aiden's going to, what's it? We're at an hour? Well, I want to cover the dash in, so. How long do I think? I don't think it'll be long, but we can make a pattern, and then we'll make a pattern. We're just talking about the time. Jolene's giving me the time, how long it's been. What I want to do though, I know it's an hour, and I want to keep Roger away from the supper table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind this off. We'll make a pattern, and you know how we're going to put it on. We're going to place it on, and we're going to weld it on basically. But we got a sweetheart look up here, and we're going to a flat and a peak over here. So it'll be a little bit trying, but really not much to it. I think what we'll do, I know what we're going to do. We're going to apply the sweetheart part first. This has got a little bend to it. Yes, it does. And then we'll clamp the flat. So basically, where the metal lies, or what the metal does, is what the metal's going to do. We're going to probably tack it in the center, the pattern that we make. We'll tack it in the center, and then we'll run it this way, and we'll run it this way, so we've got no buckles or anything. And then we'll come in here and we'll apply the metal up front with a pair of pliers, and we'll make it out of two pieces. One piece to the peak and one piece over there to the peak. We'll weld it down the center and say, hey. All right, we'll leave it as that, like that. Basically, that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to put a piece of Bristol board in there. We're going to measure. We're not going to measure. We're just going to trace it off. This is the sweetheart look. I explained it once. We'll start at the center, run it this way with the welder. When it comes to the front part, we'll clamp it down on the front, and we'll weld it all the way along the front. We'll weld it all the way along there. We haven't got the lip in yet for the window. That's okay, because we haven't got the window yet, or we haven't got far yet. So basically that's what we're going to do. I want to thank everybody for coming back and watching and all that sort of stuff. And you can do the exact same thing we're doing, and you can do it different. You can do it your way. You can do it out of round stock. You can do it out of square stock. You can do it out of angle iron. You can do it any way you want to. But we are making a dash in the top of the doors from nothing. And that's the way it is. Take what you like, throw away what you don't. Come back tomorrow, and you'll see the top of the dash looking amazing.